Jason Burmis here, and over the last week or so, I've been gathering up stories that have kind of gone by the wayside, not gotten the media attention they deserved about predators of children. And one of the reasons I wanted to do this story today is to show you that, this isn't just, a bunch of old men, although many of these old men that get caught have been at it for decades. In fact, most of these people get started pretty young, sometimes in high school, sometimes in college, sometimes in grad school, as we're going to find out today. And ESPN did this piece that's getting a lot of attention on a former Olympic hurdler who molested many young men that are now coming forward. And in Syracuse, the statute of limitations is up. So it doesn't even look like, even though this investigation is far going, there will be charges brought in New York. And it also relates to the drummer from Smith, which is kind of like a popular alt band these days, how he was trying and sending sexually explicit messages to Travis Barker of Blink-182's 13-year-old daughter. Okay? And this whole thing ranges a wide variety of predators. So, we're going to touch on some stories here, and I think that one of these in particular, I'm probably going to end up doing a full video on. But let's get started. Like I said, I've been collecting these stories for the last week plus. So this was on July 21st or 24th. And this is registered sex offender charged with 500 counts of CP. He also happens to be a minister. How we let these monsters next to our children and claim that they're men of the Lord, I will never understand, especially when being outed. A 66-year-old Englewood minister who is already a registered sex offender was arrested Tuesday on 500 counts of CP possession, according to the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office. This is down in Florida. Investigators executed a search warrant on the home of Charles Andrews, 81, Lee Circle in Englewood, after receiving information that Andrews' computer IP address had downloaded about 70 images of CP. Through the investigation, detectives say they discovered more than 500 images had been downloaded onto a computer, and at least 50 of those images depicted sexual battery of children. Andrews was convicted in 2006 in Alabama of the second-degree sexual abuse and is a registered sex offender. Okay, do you see this? Take a look. Here are the monsters. Already a registered sex offender all the way back in 2006, becomes a minister found with more child porn. Huh. How about that? How about that? So, let's continue. Palm Beach employee downloaded CP at work. Another Florida instant here. Palm Beach Sheriff deputies have put facilities manager at Renaissance Learning Academy behind bars for allegedly storing CP on his school computer. Steve Ely, thank you so much for the super chat. Shout out to the work you do. Shout out to you for supporting it, brother. I really do appreciate it, okay? Deputies armed with a search warrant searched the school Monday. According to the sheriff's office report, investigators spoke to Timothy Scott, the facilities manager, and told him to step out of his office as they searched his computer. So, again, here's another monster putting himself around what? Children. All right? He's facing 15 counts of possession of obscene material depicting sexual performances by a child. The man's on the street, okay? He was released on a $150,000 bond. You see how this works? Let's continue here, all right? I touched upon this very briefly today when I did the Linda Collins Smith update, but I thought it was important that we also show this, that a child was kidnapped just the other night in San Antonio, Texas, and luckily, police chased him down before he could be sold. Before he could be sold, a 9-year-old boy. All right? A 9-year-old boy is safe after police say he was kidnapped and almost trafficked to another city. But police were able to track him down just in time. Police sergeant spent the entire night tracking down the child until he was found inside of a car at a local grocery store. Things ended around 12:30 a.m. Wednesday at an H-E-B on the south side of Goliad Road and Southeast Military Drive. Police said the boy was kidnapped in the downtown area, and authorities were immediately notified along with Homeland Security. San Antonio's police rope officers followed several leads that brought them to the store where the suspect and the boy were going to be. SAPD officers were called to assist the arrest. They were able to block in the car and parking lot and recover the kidnapped boy and place the man under arrest. Okay, thank God this boy wasn't seriously hurt. Here's where it went down. They pinned him in. Good job, San Antonio police. Now, this did not get a lot of play. I barely read about this. But this is a popular 20-year-old drummer. Okay, a 20-year-old drummer. Alabama Barker is a 13-year-old girl. This guy is Echo Smith's Graham Sirota. Let's take a look at him. Look at this child. This is a child, okay? And this person here, you know, a 20-year-old thinks it's okay to try to have a sexual relationship with her. And good for Travis Barker, talking to The Blast, joined in condemning Sirota, saying, "When I found out a 20-year-old man was trying to get in touch with my 13-year-old daughter by filling her Instagram message with party invites and compliments, I was disgusted. That's predatory behavior, and there is nothing cool, normal, or okay about it at all." Thank you, Travis Barker. Thank you, Travis Barker. Thank you, Travis Barker. Now, before we get to the Olympic story, I'm going to be doing a whole expose on this, where this is children care in Nottingham abused by predators. So more children, this is hundreds of kids in foster care that have been abused. Does it remind anybody of a scandal in the United States that people don't like to talk about? Franklin scandal, anybody? Boys Town, anybody? The Catholic Church, anybody? Okay. They had 350 complaints dating back to the 1960s. And still much of this abuse has been covered up or downplayed. Why is this not a top-level story? Why are not these predators being rolled out into the media and exposed for who they are? Many, many monsters among us. And now, this person right here, let's pause it because I did want to actually play some of this clip. This person right here is a former Olympic athlete, okay? His name is Conrad Manwaring, all right? And they have reports that go back to him being a graduate student in the 80s and taking advantage of high school kids. Sexual abuse in Syracuse, and this is the thing. The statute of limitations is up, so.
Mainwaring was arrested by the Los Angeles Police Department in...
Good evening, everyone. I'm Rod Wood.
I'm Christy Casciano. A former Olympic hurdler, Conrad Mainwaring, was arrested by the Los Angeles Police Department in June.
Now, again, this is in June. So, yes, ESPN did just put this piece out, but the man was arrested back in June, and we're just hearing about it in August. It's kind of disturbing.
For sexual misconduct, now accused of molesting more than a dozen boys in the Syracuse area.
ESPN breaking the news this morning, saying reporters from the program Outside the Lines spoke with 14 men who claim Mainwaring sexually abused them back in the 1980s while he was a grad student at Syracuse University. Some of them were SU students at the time, the others in high school. News Channel 9's Jeff Kulikowski leading us off tonight. Jeff, will Mainwaring be charged for the alleged crimes here in central New York?
Rod and Christy, the short answer to that is going to be no. Onondaga County District Attorney Bill Fitzpatrick says that the statute of limitations ran out years ago.
So let's stop. We need to change these statute of limitation laws for people that are minors. When they are children, there should be no statute of limitations. And I know there was a lot of work to change that in California. Corey Feldman, a Hollywood actor, obviously pretty notorious, who, you know, is a victim of this abuse. I don't think he's claiming to be a victim of this abuse. I truly believe he, Corey Haim, and many others were a victim of this abuse. And there should be no statute of limitations on these crimes. And again, this is a serial predator that starts out rather young. You know, I talked about Ed Murray, the former mayor of Seattle. He was entrenching himself with children, with young people, all the way back when he was in high school and then early days of college. That's how many of these people do it. Folks, if you like my reporting and you're new to the channel, if you just tuned in, please consider subscribing, ringing that bell for notifications. We're doing it 3, 4, 5, 6, sometimes 7 times a day. Transhumanism, the Epstein case, Bilderberg, Nexium, globalism, the technopoly, and so much more. We expose predators here as well. And I'm doing it 7 days a week, putting out 30 plus videos a week with your help. So if you can support me, we did get 1 donation so far today. We're 16 days deep, a little bit more than halfway of our distance, and not quite halfway to our goal. So if you can support me, I really appreciate it. And guys, with that being said, I will see you all on the flip side.